So you need to keep on the calendar earnings day for Nikola. That is 7 days away. What is going on, guys? I hope you're having a fantastic day. We have a ton of stuff to cover today, so sit back, relax, strap in, because it is going to be about as bumpy as it is ever going to get in the markets here in the next couple of days into the following weeks. I mean, it's going to be crazy. So before we go any farther, if you have not already subbed or left a like, please consider doing so. We're doing a giveaway once we get to 250 subscribers for an Amazon gift card. And I've been saying it and I will say it again. Why not get yourself in on an entry and to get a little extra cash around the holiday season? So we got to go through the quick rundown here. Obviously, I got to give you guys a little quick Nikola update, and there's not like most days, I swear, it's like beating a dead horse. Like, there is not a lot of news coming out of Nikola daily anymore because Trevor Milton is gone. Like, without Trevor Milton, the one cool thing about him, even as crazy and psycho as that dude was, like, you know, spreading misinformation and all that sort of stuff, but he was giving information. Granted, it was bad information or misinformation or providing a lot of overhype and stuff like that, but he was active. He was connecting with the, you know, the potential audience for, you know, their truck and their, you know, EVs and all that sort of stuff. So with Trevor Milton out now, I mean, it is no surprise that it has been super quiet. So there's a couple of dates that I want you guys to put on your calendar. If you are even still following Nikola, I have no idea if anybody is now, honestly, because you've got NIO and Tesla, all these other names that are kind of competing now for publicity and really taking over Nikola as far as kind of who people are talking about most out there, just because Trevor Milton is gone and there's no news coming out. So you need to keep on the calendar earnings day for Nikola. That is 7 days away. And why I think this is an important date is because Trevor Milton is gone, there's been no news on the Badger, on these partnerships, or anything like that. And typically on the earnings call, that is when these things are going to be discussed. So if there's ever a time where we're going to get news and get some sort of juicy information, it is going to be on this earnings call. And I think there's two ways this could go. Actually, three. They're going to come out and they're basically going to give no new information. And I'm going to take that as a very negative sign. So obviously, you know, if you've been promising all these products, you come out with no new information when everybody who is following the stock is starving for information, that's a bad sign. So you can hear my sprinklers going. Next, they come out and they say, hey, we are, you know, canceling the Badger, or we're scrapping the Badger, or, you know, something like that. That is another way it can go. Obviously, that is going to be a bad catalyst on the stock. And lastly, the last thing I see this thing going is, you know, them coming out and saying, yes, we are working super hard to get this partnership done with General Motors, or, hey, we have finalized this partnership with General Motors, or something like that. And that would be obviously a positive catalyst for the stock. But if I was a betting man, I would say that it is going to be a disappointing earnings call because, let's face it, pre-revenue, nothing really going for him. Trevor Milton lost. You've got all these allegations, all these lawsuits, SEC, Department of Justice, you know, FBI, everybody is investigating the stuff that is going on. So if I was a betting person, I would stay 100 foot, 1,000 foot, several miles away from this company, at least at this time. There's plenty of other places to put your money. No reason at this point, especially when everything is going on sale, to get into some speculative plays. I would say maybe if, you know, everything in the market was doing good at all-time highs, maybe that's when you start getting into some speculative plays because, hey, you know, buying in at all-time highs kind of sucks sometimes. But now, I mean, you've got everything in the market on sale, deeply discounted because of all this uncertainty going into the presidential election. So it's like, you know, better places and better areas to spend your time and money. So this leads me into my next, you know, few areas that I want to talk about, right? There's some stocks that I'm targeting, and I've said I've been targeting to really continue to add to my portfolio. I've been saying Visa, I've been saying Walmart, I've been saying the airlines, I've been saying Apple, Microsoft, companies like this. I want to add Zoom to that list. Zoom has been a completely dominant company, getting like bundles and bundles of new subscribers, new companies, and stuff like that to their service, especially with coronavirus. And their stock was as recently as like a month ago at an all-time high of like $588. And they are now, as of right now making this video, they are under $450. So this is a stock that I really like. I think the 588 was still overpriced basically, but I do think that we are probably headed for maybe some more lockdowns or we are definitely headed for a massive change in the way we do business. And I think Zoom is going to be one of those companies that continues to perform very well, especially if we have another round of lockdowns or shutdowns or anything like that. But even as we come out of COVID and companies continue to stay with that work at home approach, Zoom is going to do really well. And I mean, $150 off its high, very tempting to come in and get at a pretty big discount, and maybe sell it for a short-term gain or something like that. The other companies that I'm targeting, Apple continues to pull back today, while I would say the vast majority of the market is doing well today. Maybe, the tech sector as a whole, the NASDAQ is down, but Apple, has had another down day. And I like to see these quality companies have bad days or bad stretch. This tells me that, it's basically the time to buy these companies. You're down 20-25% off the high. You've had several days, in the red. You've had a couple weeks trending in the red. These are the times to buy these companies. They are not going anywhere. Apple, yes, does have a lot of exposure to China, but there's a couple different ways you can look at this. Apple has a ton of cash on the balance sheet. They are very well managed. They're very innovative. They are very good at, finding ways to get people to buy their products and expand their reach. So you could take it that way. Even if you think President Trump's going to win re-election, and that's a whole nother topic, right? Who's going to win the election and where stocks and stuff going to go. I think obviously if Joe Biden wins the election, I think talks and stuff and commerce kind of begin again with China, which is something that Apple in the short term at least would benefit from. But I think maybe a President Trump victory could potentially mean other benefits for Apple, as well as tax hike. Yeah, I can't spit it out. Tax increases on corporate earnings and stuff like that, right? Joe Biden wants to raise taxes. Trump wants to, continue to lower them at the corporate level. So obviously Apple is the biggest company in the world, with so many trillions of dollars of freaking market cap. So obviously they're going to be first in line to probably say, well, we don't want to pay any more taxes. So that is definitely going to be reflected in the share price, the earnings per share, and all that good stuff. And then the last company or really sector that I'm targeting is once again airlines. I got to keep beating it over the head. There's so many different ways to look at airlines. There's so many reasons to really vote your confidence in airlines, because they're going to be first in line the next round of stimulus talks. Basically, they are going to be first in line to get stimulus money. So I like that. Regardless of whichever party gets into power, as long as the Democrats do not wipe the table and win and, go for the Green New Deal, which even if I think they do, I think it's going to be super hard to get past, because there are still going to be some moderate Dems out there that are like, nah, this is crazy. This doesn't make any sense. Airplanes are not going anywhere, guys. We don't have high-speed rails in the United States. We are several tens, if not 20 years, years away, at least from getting away from how heavy we are on air travel and all sorts of stuff like that. So the airline sector will come back. I again have to say Southwest is my favorite because it is so heavy on domestic travel. And just if you're looking at your international, airline companies, right? You had the UK go back into another lockdown and stuff like that. So the big question mark in the airline and the travel industry really is, when is the international travel going to open up? So if you are looking to get into one of those travel, dependent sectors, look for the ones that have the most domestic exposure. Those are going to be the guys who come back quicker, faster, because the United States, hopefully is not going for another shutdown. The last thing I have to say, it's more of a venting sesh, really. Obviously, we have the election tomorrow, which, whichever side of the fence you are on, you need to be able to take a step back and appreciate the fact that you live in the greatest, most free country that has ever existed on planet freaking Earth, okay? Realize the fact that, whatever side of the aisle on, I'll say it again, you are in the freest, greatest, country on planet Earth ever throughout history. You have the ability to be born super poor and become super rich. The vast majority of millionaires today in the United States did not inherit their wealth. They are self-made. You look at the people who are worth billions. The vast majority of them did not inherit their wealth. They created the amazing capitalistic market that we have in the United States, and all the rights that we have, taking finance away, aside from all this stuff, you have the freedom of speech, freedom of religion, whether, who knows how you feel about the right to bear arms. You've got all these incredible rights. We're the most equal, most free society that has ever existed. Are we perfect? Absolutely not. But I think our history shows us just how far we've come. And if we're going to be honest, 200 years of history is a very small blimp in time, if you're being honest. So I think the United States is an amazing country, and all the freaking people out there who say, oh, if President Trump wins the election, I'm moving, I'm getting out of here. It's all these Hollywood people who said back in 2016, they said the same thing and they didn't leave. And it's like, why? Don't sit there and complain about, the outcome of the election and who you don't like. If you really want to say, I want to leave the United States because of this one person, clearly you haven't studied history. Clearly you are super, super ignorant. If you want to leave, go ahead. It is still the greatest country on planet Earth, regardless of who wins this election. Guys, the market will probably do well. Maybe not in the short term. It's gonna be a lot of question marks, especially, the next couple of days into the next weeks, depending on how long this thing gets drawn out. So, you are gonna be in for a bumpy ride as far as the economy, but I really think probably whichever candidate wins, 4 years from now, you will, if you're getting invested now, you're probably going to make money. You're probably going to be better off because, whether you agree or disagree on both sides, if there is some level of gridlock, that is going to be good for stocks and we will make money. So guys, I will leave you with that. I'm not going to do a fun fact of the day other than tomorrow is a presidential election. There's your fun fact of the day. And there have been 45 presidents to this point in the United States. So are we going to be having a repeat of Donald Trump, number 45? Are we going to have that again? Or are we going to be getting president number 46 with Joe Biden? So let me know what your thoughts are on the economy, the election. When the heck are we going to know who is the president? Do you even live in the United States? Do you even care? Are you even able to vote? These are all things that I want you to let me know in the comment section below. Get the dialogue going. Get the flavor, see how you guys are thinking, what you're doing with your money. Are you holding cash? What stocks are you buying? All that good stuff. And just again, reminder, disclaimer, if you like this video, if you want maybe potentially some more rant videos, because oh boy, I got plenty to rant on, but I try to dial it back for you guys and be as unbiased as I can. But if you like them, just let me know. Do some more in the comments. And yeah, subscribe, drop a like if you haven't already. I will see you guys tomorrow.